Hey, thanks for joining the channel. Today what we're gonna do is talk from my over a decade of experience smoking meat. What is the best smoker to start with? Should you do a pellet grill? Should you do an offset? Should you do a Weber kettle? What is the way that you should start out? We're gonna talk about some pros and cons for all of them in this video and try to help you make the best decision on how you can start smoking delicious meat for your family. All right, so I kind of went backwards when it comes to smoking meat. I started with a Traeger, and then went to a Masterbuilt gravity fed, then went to a green egg style grill, then I went all the way to a Rectech, and then from a Rectech I went to a true offset smoker. And so I kind of went backwards in the way, just like when I worked in the restaurant. I started at a 5-star yacht club and I ended working at Chick-fil-A. So I kind of went backwards in both of those. But what I have discovered is there are many pros and cons when it comes to cooking barbecue with different ways of doing it, whether it's a pellet grill or an offset smoker. And so I wanted to help you know how to get started. What should you look for? What should you get? So the first thing that I would say, let's talk about pellet grills first. That's how I started off. Pellet grills are great. I'm not here to hate on pellet grills. I'm not here to hate on any of them, actually. They're all great and useful. So whichever one you want to start with, you're not really gonna go wrong. You just gotta learn it and begin to properly know how to cook on that type of cooker, and then you can create really good barbecue. I do think there are differences, but it's not so crazy that you're like, oh my goodness, one's so much greater than the other one. It all just depends on what you want and how you want to cook. So for me, all pellet grills, all of them, are gonna start off doing the exact same thing. It doesn't matter if you get a Traeger, it doesn't matter if you get a Rectech, it doesn't matter if you get a Lone Star, it doesn't matter if you get a Yoder, it doesn't matter if you get a Pit Boss, it doesn't matter, Green Mountain Grill, whatever one you get, it doesn't matter. What matters is they're all gonna do the same thing at first. They're all gonna be feeding pellets through an auger into a fire pot that's gonna burn it up. You're gonna have a controller that's gonna monitor a fan that's gonna keep your temperature the same. They're all gonna do the exact same thing when you first get it. So just know that. No matter what you're starting off with, it's all gonna do the same thing. What you're paying for when you buy something more expensive is you are gonna pay for longevity, something that you really want, something that is gonna last for years and years and years. And so my recommendation would be to find one that you can afford. Don't buy some crazy, like the biggest one out there, the nice one out there. Don't even bother doing that. Find something that you can afford, buy that one, and then learn how to cook, and then decide, is this the method of cooking that I want to do? Then invest the money in something that's going to last a long time, because you may get into it and go, this isn't really what I want. In fact, I had that experience. I got a green egg style grill. It wasn't green egg, but it was that style of smoker or grill. I don't really like to call it a smoker, because what I discovered is you can smoke for a little bit, but then if you want to like add any more fuel to the fire and keep it going, you've got to remove everything out of it, add more fuel to it, and put it all back in. That wasn't for me, so I did a short stint with a green egg. I consider that more of either like direct over the fire grilling, which is great for that, or baking, because once it heats up on the outside, it's gonna stay good and hot for a long, long time. I mean, I would cook in the afternoon one day, and the next, I would go to bed, the next day I would get up and it would still be hot out there. So it does do a really good job of holding temperature for a long period of time. If you overshoot your temperature though on a green egg style grill, you're cooked. I mean, it's gonna take forever for it to come back down. So be careful with that. If you like that style, go for it. If you've got it dialed in and you're willing to put the effort in to making sure that you don't overshoot the cook and you really learn it, I hear people love them and they're great and they will last forever too. It's a great option for you. But for me, it wasn't my style. So I did not stick with that one. The pellet grills, from the Traeger, the first one that I had, which was a very old model, I began having to replace a lot of parts on there. It was pretty old, it sat outside, you know, so these things aren't gonna last forever. So just know that when you're going into it. The master builds, I got the gravity fed master build, the very first one that came out, the 560. I even have a video on here of it exploding on fire, and master build sent me another one because they said it shouldn't do that. But it was just a grease fire from all of it dripping in there, and it can crank up so high, so fast that thing can explode. So be careful with that one. That one is probably the closest to a true offset flavor, but not being an offset and being managed by a fan. So any of the master builds that you can get out there, Cooper's trying to say hello. Any of the master builds that you can get out there that are gravity fed, I think they produce a really good flavor, but The quality of the build wasn't super good, especially on the 560, the first model. I'm not sure about the bigger ones or the newer ones that came out now because I haven't had one of those. If their quality will last a little bit longer. I considered it a 2-year grill. You know, you get those grills that are like 2-year grills. Get a 2-year grill, see how it goes, see if you like it, and then move on to either buy a better model of that one or find something else that you would like to cook with. So that's kind of what the master build was for me. I had it during COVID too, and it was a great grill for us. It really produced some really good barbecue. The cast iron that they use on there, if you're not used to cast iron and seasoning cast iron, that's something that you need to figure out so it doesn't rust, because it will rust. I live in Florida. As you can see, it's sunny and beautiful out here right now, but that will like rust really quickly if you're not making sure it's seasoned properly and kept up with. So then I moved to the Rectech, and the Rectech, man, that thing has been a workhorse and a dream. It has never had a problem. It has never not cooked correctly. It has always red temp perfectly. It has been a solid choice. That one, out of all of them that I've had, the Rectech has by far performed better than everything else when it comes to quality of build, when it comes to maintaining temperatures, when it comes to ease of use, when it comes to always starting up. I mean, even if you go back to the master build, you're still lighting charcoal. So if you're not used to lighting charcoal and you've got to start a fire every single time you want to cook, if you're not used to that, well, it's going to be a little challenge for you, even with the fire starters and getting it on there, because at the bottom of it, after you cook one time, you still got coals there and you're not cleaning it out every single time. So then you're trying to dust off the charcoal that's down there to get it to relight again, because if you can't do that, it's very difficult to light. So there's little things like that that you learn along the way, or like all of us, we forgot to pull the slides out when we were going to cook on those things back in the day. So just know there are nuances to every single one of them. All of them so far produce good barbecue. I mean, if you're cooking it all to the right temperature, you can produce some really good food and enjoy it with your family. These are just pros and cons to think about as you're deciding which one's best for me and my family as we're starting out. The Rectech is probably the most expensive one that I've had. It's also been the best quality one, and it has lasted the longest. I mean, it has really done a fantastic job, and I've cooked many times on the Rectech. Now, the new one that we've just got is the offset smoker. This is a custom build that we built at my friend's house, and I'm going to show you around right now so you can see the smoker. And this thing has been a dream. I never knew that I would love cooking on an offset as much as I do, and this thing has been absolutely incredible. So as you can see on here, we've got a smoke collector where the smoke will pull across, collect there, head up this smokestack. We started with a smaller smokestack, but added a wider one. We've got the wood rack on there. We've got these stoppers for the doors. They don't sling all the way open, so it'll sit there and be easy for us to grab and close down. The firebox is 3/8 thick steel, so it should last a lifetime. And you can see the hinge here closes from the bottom, and you can rest it on that piece of metal on the outside, and that allows airflow while you're cooking. It loves to sit at 250 while it's open there. We also created the plancha on top, so if we wanted to sear anything off the smoker, we could do that, and it gets smoking hot on there. This whole cooking chamber is 1/2 inch thick steel. The upper rack will pull out. It can slide. It's got some braces on the back so it won't fall out. Inside, we added an extra grate where the smoke collector is to add a little bit more room. And we have a deflector where you can put a water pan there as well. We've got a single drain to clean out all of the guts that fall down there, all the grease that collects there. You can see how thick that is. It's 1/2 inch thick steel. So once this thing warms up, it holds temp very well. It slides out. And then we have the damper on top of the smokestack to be able to shut it down, but also control airflow with a lock. So if when we're driving, it doesn't open up on us. But this is the smoker. This is what it looks like, and it has been an absolute dream so far. All right, thanks so much for watching this video. If you would, subscribe to the channel. This will help more people learn what should they cook on, what are some pros and cons, what are some things that they need to consider when they're going to purchase one, and then make some good barbecue. Tell me what you're cooking. Tell me which one that you like to cook with. What are some tips that you've learned from cooking with pellet grills or the gravity-fed ones or even offsets? What are ways that you like to start your offset? I use a little fire gun that I just light wood. I've never started with charcoal, but my buddy who has a food truck that cooks barbecue all the time, he starts with a chimney of charcoal, pours that in there, and then just puts logs on top and manages his fire that way. There's all kinds of different ways to do it. I've seen guys wrap up butcher paper, stick it in there that are all soaked in beef tallow, and start it that way. There's many different ways. I would love to know how you are doing it and how we can help each other cook really good barbecue for our friends and family. This is what this whole thing's about. The one thing that I have loved the most starting this channel many years ago, and I have not kept up with it. I've moved like 5 times. It's very difficult to keep a YouTube channel up and have a family and have work and have, all the things of life going on and cook barbecue and remember to film it and not just film a little bit of it and then realize, oh shoot, I didn't film the other parts. There's all kinds of those things. But this has been a great experience for me. Of all the people in the community of the barbecue world, I've even reached out to Chud, who's got one of the best channels on here, and he gave me advice. He gave me places to check out in Austin when I was going to be there. Everyone that I've interacted with in the barbecue world has been absolutely incredible. So let's support each other. Consider subscribing to this channel and help support me. I'm going to start posting more often as my goal. Hopefully I can with my life circumstances. But I would say anyone who's out here cooking barbecue to try to help people learn, help people grow, help people to feed their family, help people to enjoy the time that God has given them on this earth. Let's support each other, let's help each other, and let's go out and cook great barbecue. Remember, whether you eat or whether you drink, do it all for the glory of God. We will see you in the next one.